Hey, yo, what up, though, fellas? Back at it again with another video, because we improving every day. Today, I'm going to share with y'all 7 words that I've learned, that I've inherited and implemented into my training lifestyle and into my training regimen, into my training philosophy that has completely revolutionized my training. Now, this isn't something that I made up. This isn't some magical trick. This isn't something that I'm trying to sell you. And when I say the words, it's going to sound like common sense. You might even be confused as to why I'm sharing it, because it will seem obvious. But I want you to stick around and listen, because when people hear these words, they don't think deep enough. They think they understand what it means, but they really don't. So those 7 words that I said have changed the way I train are the following. Big is strong and strong is big. Big is strong and strong is big. Now, I know some of y'all are probably saying, Chris, you just repeated yourself twice. All you did was mirror the same thing around. You know, big is strong and strong is big. Don't those mean the same thing? You just said them 2 different ways? No. And that's where the confusion lies. So that's why we're going to dig into what this sentence really means. So let's start with the first half. Big is strong. What does big is strong mean? For natural lifters, because that's what my channel is geared toward, strength building for natural lifters. We're not enhanced, we're natural. So for us, training for strength, training for mass is going to be completely different than someone who's enhanced who trains for the same thing, because we have to be cautious of a lot more of the damage and the fatigue caused by training for mass or training for strength. But I digress. Big is strong. For natural lifters, to be big, you will be strong. To be big, you will be strong. And when I say strong, I don't mean that you're going to have an 800 deadlift, a 500 bench, a 700 squat, a 300-pound strict overhead press. I'm not saying you're going to have those numbers that are going to win you powerlifting competitions, or, you know, that are going to be able to throw you in a strongman training and you're going to win some strongman competitions. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you're going to be strong. At least at very minimum, you're going to be strong to the average person if you want to be big. To be big, to have mass, to be muscular, to look strong, you're going to be strong. Now, why do we have to talk about this? We have to talk about this because too many dudes training, ladies too, dudes and ladies training, when they decide that they want to train just for their look, they just want to train for the aesthetics, they just want to be big and muscular, or they want to be lean and muscular, whatever the case may be, they just want to look athletic, whatever it is. A lot of them make the mistake of thinking that because I only want to train for the look, I'm only going to train to build muscle strictly. I'm not going to train any strength work. I'm not going to train for any explosive or power. I'm only going to train for the look. And that's what happens when a lot of guys stall or ladies stall. When they don't look as dense as they want to look, when they don't look as strong as they want to look, when they look muscular, but something is missing from the appearance. It's strength. It's because they've neglected the strength work. You know, when you train for the look or the aesthetics, your appearance, the strength work, the high intensity, low rep work, you know, your 3x3s. Some people would say 5x5s, even though I don't really consider that strength work. Your singles, doubles, triples, that kind of work where you are 75, 80, 85% or higher, your 1 rep max. That's the work that's going to give you the dense look. That's the look that's going to keep you from looking puffy. That's the work that's going to keep you from just looking like you do a bunch of curls and looking like you do a bunch of decline press, looking like you only do lateral raises. The strength work is what's going to give you that full, dense, hard, more of that sculptured look. Because you're going to look dense. You're going to be strong. You're going to actually look like you lift weights, and not that you just go in and you do a bunch of fluff and pumping and you leave. The strength work is going to take you beyond just having a V-taper and some round shoulders. The strength work is what's going to give you a thicker upper back, thicker lower back. The strength work is what's going to give you a thicker core, a thicker chest, more dense quads, hamstrings, anything you could really think of. So you cannot neglect the strength work, even if you only train for the way you look as a natural. I repeat, as a natural. Now, if you enhanced, you don't need to do any strength work to grow and look big and look strong. You really don't. But that's the first half of the sentence. Now let's move to the second half. Strong is big. Strong is big. If you want to be strong, you're going to be big. You're going to be big. And when I say big, I don't mean 350 pounds. I don't mean 300 pounds and only 10% body fat, because quite frankly, that's not naturally possible unless you're like 7 feet tall. When I say big, I just mean that you're going to look bigger than the average person. You're going to have more muscle than the average person. You're going to have more mass in general. And by mass, I mean the combination of fat and muscle. You're probably going to have more mass than regular people. Why is that? Because as a natural, really just in general, but this especially pertains to naturals, a bigger muscle is a stronger muscle. Once you understand that, that will take your strength training from level 1 to level 5. Because I know that's what it did to mine. You know, I made the mistake of saying, because I only really care about my strength, my performance in the gym, I'm only going to do strength work. That was my mistake early on. I said, hey, all that high rep work, all that hypertrophy work, I'm not going to do that. I'll save that for later, you know, when I decide to change my mind or something like that. You know, but right now, while I only care about my numbers, really, all I'm going to do is strength work. And what happened? I started to stall. I started to plateau. You know, after a while, I was plateauing. I was tired all the time because my work was constantly at a high intensity. Constantly. I mean, in one workout, I might do 6 or 7 exercises. Every exercise was high intensity. And I'm young, so I'm even able to recover from that much more than an older adult would. But even I was exhausted. I was tired. I couldn't think as well because I was doing so much high intensity work. And my lifts weren't going up. My lifts weren't going up. I wasn't looking different. I was doing this and reaping very little to no benefit. So what did I do? I had to understand that, okay, if I want to get stronger, I'm not a noob anymore. I'm not a noob. I'm not going to get the newbie gains. I can't just keep piling on weight every week. Linear progression. Excuse me. I can't do that no more. I need to start thinking about growing, putting on mass, making my muscles bigger so they're capable of being stronger. So I had to implement a lot more hypertrophy work. The work that I don't enjoy doing, the work that I get bored doing my curls and isolating my triceps, you know, isolating my delts, isolating my quads from my hamstrings, all that kind of work. The work where it's 4 sets of 10, 3 sets of 12. You might do 2 sets of 15. You might do 3 sets of 20, you know, on some rear delt work. Even though I don't like it, even though I get bored doing it, that's the kind of work that took my training to the next level for now. And I've been constantly improving because I'm putting on mass. I'm putting on mass. Now let's repeat. As a natural, all this mass is not just going to be pure lean mass. It's not going to be all muscle. I've put on some fat, but I've put on some muscle. I'm 220 pounds right now, about 17% body fat. You know, so I'm a pretty big dude at 5'11". I'm a pretty big dude. I'm not huge. I'm not super cocky, super stocky, but I'm a big dude. But that hypertrophy work is what has made my strength numbers keep going up and up and up to the point where it almost feels like I have a watered down version of newbie gains. It's like every 2 months or every 3 months I'm hitting PRs on all my lifts. You know, it may not be the same as every week or every 2 weeks, but every 2 months, every 3 months, I can live with this for a while. You know what I'm saying? So to close the video, I'm gonna just repeat myself one more time. Do not make the mistake of being extremely dogmatic in the way you train pertaining to what you train for. If you train for size, you only train for the look, the aesthetic, the muscularity. Don't make the mistake of saying, okay, I'ma only do hypertrophy work. I don't need to do any strength work. That's a mistake waiting to happen. That's a mistake waiting to happen because you are leaving out important parts of your physique that will make you look a lot better if that's what you care about. You know what I'm saying? The strength work is going to help you look harder, more dense. There is a actual look to being strong, which we'll talk about in later videos, versus just being muscular. And if you do like I have, and you make the mistake of focusing on strength and performance, and you neglect the hypertrophy work, don't make that mistake. I'm trying to tell you beforehand so that you don't make the mistake that I have or that some of us other listeners have, because they could tell you as well. You don't want to lift at a high intensity all the time for no benefit. You're going to be tired. You're not going to think as well. Your cognitive ability is not going to be the same. And you're not going to get many gains from it, if any. Besides the fact that you could tell yourself, oh, I lift heavy every day because I'm hardcore. And what really is the benefit of that? Big is strong and strong is big. That's the topic for today, man. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Peace.